We ran this by the kids that were running this through the actual campaign itself, or attending the classes, and they loved the term. And they've even coined a phrase where they say, if it's to be, it's up to me. I'm a coding queen, you see, and they loved Girl Geek, the association by that. And
okay, so we've created a positive sort of dialogue over the word geek. Yeah. All right, tell us what this campaign aims to do. We know for the longest time we've been trying to get girls involved in things like science, technology, and maths. So what are you doing differently to attract them to the field? So I think the first thing is that we do know that there's a problem with the amount of females coming into the pipeline for the corporate sectors within the IT industry. And a lot of the companies complain that we don't have sufficient population or samples to bring into the corporate world in IT, especially with African females. Now, the problem we have is we initially focused primarily around either university students who already decided which career path they're taking in, or people that are already in the corporate sector who also have decided a career path they actually want to focus on. We decided that we need to focus around kids starting in the schooling system, and we need to actually get them to understand and create a vision of a future for themselves. So this is twofold. The first thing is to fill the gap around pipeline for potential IT capabilities coming into the South African economy, but more importantly, we believe that 80 to 90% of the careers of the future are going to be revolving around the STEM domain. And if we don't do something to address the skill and capability of the have-nots, the 80% of our kids, we want to actually focus around that target. Now, 50% of our population is female, and out of that 50%, there's a very few population or grouping of females that actually want to participate in that sort of activity. Now, we're giving them the sort of vision and the opportunities and the hope that what this field actually means for them, and building up the entrepreneur skills that will actually allow them to fulfill those visions. So where are you reaching, and how young are the girls that you're reaching? So they range, we're reaching across primarily the public schooling system. The girls range from the 6 years old all the way up to 17. And Dr. Zweli Mkhize was actually at the launch, and he also talks about the amazement he had where a 6-year-old showed him a game she developed called Alice in Wonderland, and showing that, you know, our misconception that you have to be a certain age or have already a certain mathematical ability. But that girls are not even wired for this. No, and that is all wrong. It was boys. Yeah. And it unfortunately it is still a bit of a male-dominated industry, but increasingly, at least we're finding females are actually penetrating it, but more importantly, we want them to become leaders in this industry. So how do they participate in this campaign? These are obviously school-going kids, so they have to carry on with their mainstream schooling. Where and how do you accommodate them or get them involved in this campaign? Is it weekly classes, or how do they do it? It is weekly classes. The first thing is we're working with the Department of Education to try to sample or get something into the education system so that it forms part of the schooling curricula. The second thing is they actually attend from an academic perspective, where Oracle has trained the teachers, and the teachers, UNISA has given us facilities around the country where the kids go on a Saturday, they get sponsored to come into UNISA for their traveling arrangements, and they have teaching classes for the morning or afternoon. That's the academic portion of it. Now, what we're doing is we also realize that that doesn't actually bridge the gap that we need. They need actually education or experiential immersion, and partnering with hackathons and those sort of events where they solve real world problems. They'll actually code and create applications, websites and the like to respond to the need. But then we're actually looking at it of a 4-phase exercise. So kids that take this opportunity and actually come out as stars, we will develop them according to the experiential activities. Secondly, we will work on the entrepreneur skills, and then we will get mentors for them that are already in the IT industry to grow them over a journey as well, to become leaders of the future. That's wonderful. So exciting. I wish they'd had this when I was growing up. I barely know my password to this thing. Thank you very much for your time. That's Africa Teen Geek Chairperson Yashin Abed. Thanks for the opportunity.